welcome to KennyRoy.com. I'm Kenny Roy. This is the Ask Video Mail for the week of July 7th, 2014. Welcome to the site to you new members and welcome back to the old members. The Ask Video Mail is your chance to get your question in character animation or performance answered in a video just like this one, but I need your question if I'm going to answer it. Please send it to webmaster@kennyroy.com. Almost messed that up. It's been the same for 4 years. I don't know why I would mess it up. I go through all the questions. I answer the ones that I think will help the most people. There's no such thing as a stupid question, guys. Come on. And it is the best way to get the most out of the site. Thank you for being here. It is a beautiful day. I wouldn't know. My blinds are closed. You know, I close them because I think that it's weird to be looking across the foyer. Foyer? I don't know. Everything is French to me now ever since I finished Little Painter. It was fun. Looking across the office building to the other people, and they're just like sitting there, and sometimes they look up, and I've got like this video light right here. You can probably see it in the reflection of my glasses. So I look like this guy that's like, you know, goofing around on camera all day. Anyway, so here we are, and I want you guys to know that collabs starting next week. And I'm super excited. I'm sure you know by now that I'm super excited about that. But I also posted a video on my Facebook page. If you go to my Facebook page, just scroll down to like one or two entries, you'll see it. It's about the industry. It's about like what we are doing as animators to try to drive positive changes in the industry, and collabs factors a lot into that. I just want you guys to know that you still have this week to apply and get into collabs. There are some spots left if you want to be a part of these changes. I really appreciate if you do. I think that it's important for us to be drivers and not passengers in our own industry. We can make this happen if we want it to. So just have to work hard and believe in ourselves, and we can do it. So join me on that. Check out my Facebook page and be following me. Make sure you're following me, and you'll get all the latest updates and my kind of like ideas and stuff like that. One last thing, I'm trying out Gumroad. Gumroad is this new tutorial website. It's super easy to upload something. You just like put it up there, and I put up last week's Videomail. I just thought to myself, hey, maybe I should try this out. The Videomails are very underperforming and very underwhelming in the store. Seems to me that like pretty much everybody only purchases the lectures. So I might just do Gumroad for the Videomails individually, because you can buy a pack in the store, but I might just do Gumroad for that. You know, why not? Let me know, guys, know what you think. So I'm going to be putting some very old video mails up, some of like my first video mails, and we'll just see what happens. Anyway, tell your friends, or don't tell your friends. Sit on the couch, have some potato chips. I don't care. It's fine. Let's check out the question. Great question. I love eye darts. They're my favorite thing to animate, because you can almost get away with as many as you want. As many as you want. Just dart those eyes. Just have fun. Let me show you what I mean. I have the Sync rig, which comes with How to Cheat in Maya. If you're not playing around with this rig, get it. It's really a lot of fun. Any rate, so he's got. I want to just point out that your rig will really support you with eye darts, because what you need is this little thing, this little bit of movement in the eyelids. If you want to have like really realistic eye darts, and you want them to kind of be supportive of what you're trying to do, you want those little movements in the eyelids that go along with the eyeballs. Most rigs have the up and down movement on the eyelids themselves. Okay, so here are the lids. Okay, most rigs have a little bit of that. Not very many have the left to right movement. Okay, and this feels like a little bit more. I mean, this is not the most refined experience I'm getting here in the eyeball shape, or the eyelid shape rather, but you know, it's good enough. What we really should feel is, instead of like this rotation feeling, we should get a lot more kind of the eyeball pushing the skin kind of out of the way, left to right. But at any rate, you know, this is pretty darn good. So I'm going to animate just a little bit. Let me just re-familiarize myself with this rig. I'm going to animate just a tiny little bit of a head turn, and when he comes to a stop, he's going to have a little bit of the eye darts, and I'm going to show you what I think about this, my workflow. Okay, so basically I'm going to do a moving hold by just middle mouse dragging back and forth and getting just that little bit of movement in there. And let's finish this out a little bit, you know, more kind of by the book. Kind of track this a little bit more. And then we'll do the moving hold. We'll just like smooth this out again by doing the moving hold just a little bit. Okay, just a little bit of life on there. Could probably go a little bit bigger. And we'll smooth that out. Middle mouse drag, hit S. Okay, so there's just a little bit of life on there. Okay. So we're not going to do the traditional kind of like blink on that eye turn. I think that that's a little bit weak to rely on to just do automatically. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to do a look. And we're just going to use the eye controller, this little look at target, okay? So I was talking a little bit about eyes in the last video mail, and we were talking about focus, how, you know, you really kind of telegraph your focus by how far away that eye target is. But this is something that I like to do, is I like to key the eye controller in step mode. Okay, so if you know you're going to be working with your eye controller for a little while, then I'm just going to just change it to stepped and just like close those preferences right there. Okay, so let's say he's looking off to this side. I think I could probably close my face GUI. All right, and let's key all of it, the individual controls and the major eye mover. Let's have him look at something over here. Now let's correct this eye line for when he's at the end of that movement. Okay. Okay, like that. And now let's copy it back and delete this key. I don't think, let me see here, height, key tick size, there we go. There we go. I want you guys to be able to see that. There we go. There we go. So there are the keyframes. Okay, so first thing with eye darts is there's something called saccadic movement. And what saccadic movement is, it's the movement of your eye, because your eye can't move smoothly. If you're tracking an object, it moves smoothly. But if you're trying to move like your eye from one side to the other, it actually stops. It makes a couple stops. The slower you go, the more stops it makes. Okay? Try this. Look at. I can't do it in the mirror. Well, you could take like a photo of a video of yourself with your phone, and you can just try this. Try to move your eyes slowly, and you can actually feel it too. Try to move your eyes slowly from one like side to the other. If you defocus your eyes, if you can do that, like, you know, like with a magic eye, you know, those 3D images. If you defocus a little bit, it's a little bit easier, but that's only because your eye is like super relaxed. It's still stopping, but just like not as much. But at any rate, the saccadic movement actually can be read. So what I first do is on an eye dart like this, what I'll do is, if this is the first frame that I want the eye dart to start moving, which it is, you can't see what I'm doing, which it is, frame 10, and I want it to finish on frame like 17 or 18, well then what I'll do is I'll actually basically draw, like every couple frames, like a little bit of an arc on this movement. And if you want, what you can do is you can create a animated motion trail, and then like edit that just a little bit to be a little bit more of a spread apart or evenly spaced and nice looking arc like that. Okay. So let me delete that motion trail. Okay. So now what we get, right off the bat, it doesn't make a like night and day, like huge difference, but it's a good place to start with those realistic eye darts. Okay, you see how his eyes are doing that saccadic movement? All right, it's a great place to start. Then what I like to do is, eye darts are basically your character like reading information. Like the eyes don't dart around for no reason at all. Sometimes what happens is an eye dart an eye dart will be because like a character your character is watching another, and the person will be like gesturing. And if they go like this, your eyes, if you're watching that person, your eyes might dart down to catch that hand gesture and then back up. And normally, even when we are watching somebody talk, our eyes dart back and forth between the eyes and down to the mouth. It's different for different cultures. Very, very interesting. I noticed about a year ago, and I make fun of my wife because of it, that my wife and her whole family watch mouths like 90% of the time, and like eyes like 10% of the time, and it's different for every culture. Okay, some people don't make eye contact ever, and their eyes are sometimes like hovering somewhere in between the eyes and the mouth so that they can read both peripherally. But at any rate, I'll be talking and she'll be looking kind of like down, like at my mouth, and to show her that she's doing it, I'll say like, and then maybe we should go to the store, blah, 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 blah. And then she kind of realizes that she's just looking at my mouth. I'm like, look at me. Anyway, so our eyes kind of make this little triangle back and forth and up and down to the mouth and to back and forth to the eyes. So if you want your character to be looking like they're watching somebody talk, then what you can do is just have them look back and forth between the two eyes. Just like this. And I guarantee you that you almost can't do this enough. Oops, I didn't show my thing. So I was just making keyframes in step mode, just back and forth right here. Okay? And then, so back and forth to the eyes, down to the mouth. Okay? Back up to the eyes. Down to the mouth. Back and forth to the eyes. Like this. Okay? So let's watch that. Okay, now it seems a little bit big right now, but that's okay because this is first pass. My next pass is to actually add a little bit of saccadic movement between each one of these eye darts, okay? And one way we can do that is we can convert this. Here's another little quick trick. We can convert this section to spline, or to linear. Sorry, rather. It's a little bit easier. And you see how it's moving across? Then we can put a keyframe. You see that? put a keyframe like 1 or 2 frames. Okay, let's try 1 frame just as a rule. I gotta make sure that I don't mess up that one. So I don't want to do it with the downwards yet, the downwards to the mouth. Okay, so I don't want to mess up that one and put a key there. Actually, this is the key that I should not have made. Okay, now if we convert this all back to stepped, we'll get what some people would call like a micro dart, but I think it kind of just makes everything feel just like a little bit more organic, like he's watching somebody speak. Okay, now if you'd like, you can tone all of that down by working in the graph editor and reducing the amount of distance between all of these keyframes. So it's really translate X and Z, right? So if I just shrink this, ooh, wow, it really does not like to have the textures showing on this character. It's kind of a slow rig, a little slow, I gotta be honest. It's not fantastically optimized. But at any rate, so here we go. So now if I just toned it down like by half, really feels like he's actually paying attention to somebody. Right, speak. Okay, and then pepper in. It's a good chance to do. So here's like the mouth look, right? Sometimes it's good to add just an over-the-shoulder eye dart. Okay, so I'm going to do one right here. Okay, and this is going to be accompanied just a little bit with just a little bit of head movement, and I'm going to bring my preferences back here. Those are not my preferences. Windows, settings, prefs, animation. We can go auto out. It's fine, and just have a little bit of breath of that motion. And see how he's coming back? I'm going to extend this by doing a little bit more of a moving hold, just like 10 frames. Okay, so now here we have, how long did that take? Maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes to block this character's turning, looking at someone who's speaking, all right? So those eye darts between the eyes down to the mouth, a little bit of saccadic movement, a little bit of micro darts on top of that, and an over-the-shoulder look. Let's see what we ended up with. Let me show just polys. Where are we? Where are we? Polygons. There we go. Here we go. Right? Super, super easy. So that's kind of my workflow. Step keys on that eye control. You really don't need linear or spline on that at all. And then just kind of like have fun, pepper it in, saccadic movement, remember that. And remember that eye darts are motivated like by information. So imagine if the character is doing something, if he's watching an off-screen character and there's like part of the line where the person's like, I mean it, or whatever. Like you can actually say a lot by what that character is seeing by kind of like animating an eye dart that's kind of like, over the top. Like, I mean it. And the guy like might like look all around. and that kind of like shows the audience that off screen the guy did like this big gesture, I mean it, or whatever. Okay, so just remember that it's all based on like the information that the guy's trying to get by watching, and your eye darts will be a lot easier, and be very liberal with them. You can almost not put in enough. Okay, that was a lot of fun. Don't forget to send your questions to webmaster@kennyroy.com. I am Kenny Roy. Good luck with your animation. As always, rock on.